Okay guys, for this look, I'm going to try and do the old Hollywood waves. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the partings first. And then I'll be right back. So for this look, all you're gonna need is a 1-inch curler. You're gonna need a comb to comb out all the hair before you start your hairstyle, and a tail comb to do all the partings. So let me go ahead and do the partings. So I did a parting from back of ear. You make sure you split from the arch of the eyebrow, and do the same thing on the other side. Hold on. So you do the same thing on the other side from back of ear. And if you don't do the partings, it's gonna be harder for you to work around the hairstyle. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna grab a section here. Make sure it's a straight section, and that you grabbing this much, at least this much, and everything so forth is going to be the same amount. It's very important that you do the same amount. So you're also going to need your butterfly clips to section your hair, but you also going to need these little clips, because once we have the curl, we're gonna go ahead and set them and leave them there for a little bit so the curls cool down. Okay, so you're gonna need these clips too. So I'm gonna make sure with the hairspray, I spray all around, comb it down, and it's not wet, doesn't feel wet, if anybody's asking. Believe it or not, this is a very easy hairstyle, but I don't know why it took me a while to really learn the hairstyle, like for it to look like a Hollywood wave. And the secret is the partings and the sections. You have to build like if you're building blocks. So here I'm just gonna do one, but when it comes to my next section, I'm gonna do 2 sections. You'll see as I go. But also the technique is, let me see if I could do a little closer up. This is as close as I could get. So you put the hair underneath, make sure it's a little bit far from the scalp. You don't want to burn your customer. And it's the twist which makes the Hollywood wave. So twisting it as you curling it, that's what's gonna give it like a really defined wave. I don't know if you could see here the little twist I did, but also pinning it up and leaving it up for at least, if you're doing their makeup, your customer's makeup, leave it on while you finish doing their makeup. So I'm probably gonna leave it setting after I'm done 15 minutes or so. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did earlier, but this time I'm gonna split it in half. Gonna split it in half, and I'm going to do the same technique. Hold on a second. See how I'm twisting it? I'm gonna go ahead and pin it up. Let's go ahead and do this again. So you put your curling iron underneath. So I already did the other one. So as you can see, I started with the bottom one as one, and then I'm sort of doing like the blocks. You know how they're not even, but they're like, that's the whole thing that we want to do. Make sure we're doing like we're building blocks all the way up, okay? I think also too, like the trick was or is that you don't grab too much hair. Make sure that all your sections are about maybe an inch. I think before I was either grabbing a little or grabbing too much. That's why I couldn't achieve the Hollywood curl. But looking and asking my instructors and practicing, and I think I got better. And also by doing the right technique also helped a lot. So like I said, we're gonna build blocks. So we started with 1, 2, and now we're gonna do 3 sections here, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna grab our hair. I already put hairspray, and make sure you twist and you pin up, okay? Like I said, you're doing their makeup, start with their hair. That way, when you pin it up, it cools down, and also too, the curls last longer. No matter if you're doing a Hollywood wave or you're doing any other kind of just curls. Like if you set it with the clips, it the curl will last longer. Okay, once again, I started with 1, and then I did 2 here. I did 2 here, and then here there's 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna go higher as I go up. When I get to the top, you'll see how I'm gonna do it. Just hold on a second. So then I started with 1, then 2, 3. Now I'm gonna do 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me go ahead off camera, do them, and just show you once I'm done. So once again, I started with 1, same technique, twist, the twisties, then 2, then 3. Now I did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when it gets to this part, I'm going not to go higher than that, because then the parts are gonna be too small. So I'm gonna go ahead and do either 3 or 2, and then the parting that I'm gonna do on the top is, I can either do, it's probably gonna be 3, and then the last part will probably be 2 partings. Okay, so let's do 3 now, and then the last parting will be 2. So 3 partings, and I can't go more than I think this one was 4 here. I can't do 5 because then the little section will be smaller, you know. So it'll be 3, and the last section will be 2. Okay. So don't forget your twisties. Okay. The twisties are what's gonna create that nice looking wave. Okay. Go ahead and do all these and then come back. Okay, now, so once again, I started with 1, 2, and building myself up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I got to this part, I only did 3 partings, because if I go higher than that, if I do 5, then the sections will have to be a little smaller. And then here, these are 3. And then I'm gonna do 2 sections up top. Okay. All right then. So I'm done with the back side, and I know I'm repeating myself, but started with 1, just like blocks, and 2, Then I started building up 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then up here, I can't not add more than 4 because then I'll have smaller sections. You kind of want to have like the same amount of sections that you're grabbing to do the curl. So I did 3, and the last part I did 2. I did 2. 1, 2. Okay. So now we're gonna start on this side and start working on this side. So we're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna curl underneath and do the little twisties, and then we'll add 2, and then we'll see from there if we can add 3. Okay, this is how I do it. If you do it a different way, then just keep doing it the way you do it. It took me a while for me to learn how to manage the technique for the curl to be more defined, and also it's very important the sectioning, and the amount of hair that you're curling. So grab your hair. I already put the hairspray. I already comb it out, and it's really hard for me to do it in camera because I don't have the positions of the camera correctly for me to work better. So you see the little twisties here? That's what's gonna give you that nice wave. Okay, so okay, now I'm done with one side, and I started with 1 curl with the twisty technique. Then I did 2 with the twisty technique, 1, and then I went back to 2. I didn't want to lose that sort of like block building, so I started with 1, 2, then 1, and then back to 2. So now we're almost done. So you can see, as I said, when you pin it up, the curls are gonna last longer. The technique that I did will be more defined. And then here, it's gonna be a little bit different than that side when it comes to the top part, okay? Okay, when it comes to the top section, this top section is what's gonna give it the old Hollywood, you know what I mean, the little big twist here. And so what I did a parting going not straight like that, but more like I don't know if you could see the triangle here. Woof, woof, and then do it like kind of, is it horizontal? Don't know how to explain, but this is gonna be my last part. I'm gonna focus on this lastly. This is gonna be like the main focus here too, at the end. So I'm going to work on the rest of the curls here and leave this last because this is like the main focus for me. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and curl it and just show you how many sections I curled, and then focus on this lastly. So I'm gonna work on my last part. I am going to split it in half. Split it in half. And I'm gonna do a little bit of teasing, not too harsh. Let's see. A little bit of teasing here. So let me go ahead and curl. So I just make sure that I comb out a little bit of maybe the teasing. Okay, so let's do the last part. I think I'm gonna curl it in 2 sections, only because it's too thick to curl. So twist. And I don't know if you could see that I'm curling this way instead of this way, like, because I want the curl. I want this curl to be able to set nicely up top. So same thing with this one, twist these. So basically I'm done. So I started with 1, then I started with 1, then I went to 2, then 3, then 2, and I ended up with 2 on the top as well. So like I said, if you're doing this on a customer, you could I'm gonna go ahead and, when I'm done, just give it a little quick spray. Give it a quick spray, and I'm gonna let it set for 15 minutes because I already let this set for a while. Give it a little hairspray. Okay, and I'll be back in 15 minutes to show you the rest, the last finishing touches. I let it cool down for 30 minutes or so. So now I'm gonna take out the bottom section. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab it from the tip and just stretch it out, and I'm sort of gonna just tease it a little bit from the bottom, okay, and then stretch it out. Maybe it needs a little bit more teasing from the bottom, not too heavy teasing. So you see how the twisting effect sort of, hold on a second, sort of made this little bent here. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it out and then give it a little bit more defined. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the 2 sections. That one was the 1 section. This one is the 2 sections. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch it out like this, and then just tease it, and then pull out, and then do the same with this one here. Pull out like this. Stretch it out. Give it a little bit of tease on the bottom. And stretch it out. Okay. Go ahead and put a little bit of hairspray to close up the section here. Okay, now I'm going to my 3 sections. So the first one, was 1. And then I started building out with 2, and then this is my 3rd one. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch it out. Just give it a little teasing on the bottom and stretching. Okay. Stretching. Don't know if you could see how everything starts going into place. Okay. Let's see if I could further this down so you could see a little better. So, going to do the same thing with this one. Stretch it out. I seen this technique by Mustafa. He's like the king of old waves. He has a salon in I believe in New York City, and he's very popular on Instagram. But I have seen his techniques, and I have seen him use the hairspray to kind of like define more like the wave. So now I'm going to my 4 sections, 2, 3, 4. So remember, I started with 1, 2, and then this one was 3. Now this one's my 4th section. Just to speed up the video, I'm gonna do the same process with the TC, and then I just don't want to take too long you watching the same thing over and over. So give me a second while I tease it and place it in place. So this one's my 4th piece. Okay, stretch it out, and then you start fixing the wave on its section. So you put some hairspray, and then you can start fixing it on okay. So now I did the 1st, 2nd, this 3rd, and forgot to take this part. So remember, as I'm going up, I'm going left because I don't want to get big pieces. I mean, this one was 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do 5 sections like I said, because then I would have to get smaller sections of hair, and it's just not gonna work like that. So this one is 3 sections. And then remember, these are 2, and then I go 1 on the top. So just the same thing, just stretch it out, and then you start fixing it on the little section here of where the wave starts here. You have to sort of like fix it in there. Okay, can you see? Now let's do this one. Stretch it out, and then stretch it out like this. You start fixing it here on the section. a little wave section here. As well as here. Okay. Okay. Can you see the wave? The little waves here. So that's the whole point of doing it as a block, like 1 and then 2 and then 3 and so forth. Stretch it out. And then you start fixing it. Okay, so I don't know if you could see how it's coming out. Here's a wave, and then it starts going down here to the next section. Okay, so now let's go to the top part. And we're gonna do the same thing. Stretch it out. Give it a little tease on the bottom. A little stretch. Start fixing it where they're all sectioned into its wave. Do the same thing with this one. A little teasing on the bottom. Stretch it out. Now the last part. The last part I'm going to have to curl again. I think I curled it this way. I don't know what I was thinking about. Let me go ahead and curl it. It was supposed to be curled underneath. And I think I could see by the way I have it, I curled it this way. I don't know why I did it that way, but hold on. I also forgot to tell you guys that the top part, I usually do a little bit of teasing. And I try and hold it up like this. That way it gives it more volume. So let's go ahead and just leave it here for now. And I'll be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the top part. So now that's the right way. So you just fix it into the wave. So the last part was just one curl. I don't know if you could see teasing that gave it a little bit more volume up here. Okay, now let's go to this section here. So same process. You pull out, you hold it from the tip, and then just give it a little tease on the bottom so the curl opens up. And you could see already how it's connecting with this one. So you stretch it out. Okay, stretch it out. You could even maybe add one of these clips just to try and hold it into place. Okay, let's go ahead and just finish up here. And it'll all start like connecting. You stretch it out. Make sure you stretch it. Okay. Make sure you stretch this one too. Okay. Stretch it out. Start placing it where the wave begins. Okay. Let's finish it up. What I will do here, maybe clip one of these. Probably will clip one of these as well. Okay, like this. I still haven't mastered it like completely, like excellency or anything like that, but I could go away with one of these hairstyles for a customer, you know, like, you know, before it was a little harder, but if you manage to do these techniques, the twisties, you should be okay. 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 Now, these are the really important parts. This is, to me, it's like what gives it that little nice Hollywood curl. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect these. So let's see how it turns out. It might turn out not too good, it might turn out okay. So now this, you could do a little bit more teasing and just make this a little bit you could put one of these little metal clips to help you hold it in place. Okay. Okay. So now, let me just give a little turn. Now I'm gonna finish up this side and finish up my look. I'll be right back. Same technique, pull out, stretch out, and then tease, okay? I'll be right back. And the last part. Stretch out. So let me go ahead and do my finishing touches, like just stretch out some areas and I'll be right back with an accessory, and just give me a second. So I'm debating here which accessory to put. I don't know if I want to put this on the side or this one on the side, or just a little simple one. So let me go ahead and maybe try this one. Try this one. Be right back and put some clips in here. I decided to go with this one with the hair and sort of messing up already my hard work. So this is the final look, and this video is probably gonna be a little long only because I did want to focus on some of the important things that I wanted to talk about, because it did take me a while to master this look. And my instructor used to tell me, well, that's a really easy hair look. Like, I know I still need more, probably more practice on it, but like I said, now I'm able to do it, like on a customer, and it doesn't look bad. But I know as I do it more and more, then I'll get better. Like I said, you need to practice to get better at what you do. So let me go ahead and take some pictures and end up with this old Hollywood look. I will be doing what is it called, the Golden Globe hairstyle that I kind of watch on somebody, and I like the hairstyle, and I already have like an idea how I'm gonna do it. That will be my next look. So thank you for watching, and hope this helped somebody out there, and have a blessed day.